Hey, Gearheads, and welcome on into Shifting Gears Live on Sunday, January 22nd, 2023. I'm Alan Bailey at Hey Alan Bailey. You can keep up with everything that's happening on the program. Lots of stuff to talk about. Eli Tomac in tonight's Hot Topics. Eli Tomac goes 2 for 2 with a San Diego Supercross victory. Bloomquist gets the Rolex 24 at Daytona pole. First in his class, I might add, but he was blisteringly fast. The 2023 IndyCar field is set with 27 cars, most since 2011. Hey, Disco Inferno, welcome on into the show tonight. We have Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer, all confirmed for Supercross, for Supercross for SRX in 2023. We will talk about that. NASCAR has a new competition director. What led to that? And we're going to speculate. Landon Castle out of a ride for 2023, not returning to Kaulig Racing in the Xfinity Series full time. We will discuss that and his options. Some F1 news with the Miami track, some reconfigurations happening with Miami. We will talk about that. Kyle Busch and RCR somehow managed to find him a sponsor. What? They did the thing Joe Gibbs Racing couldn't do. It is what it is, man. We're going to talk about that. NASCAR is giving out medals at the LA Clash to the top 3. I know all you participation trophies are weak. Haters out there are just going to love this idea, even though NASCAR did it originally in the 60s, 80s, and the 90s. But for some reason, it's new and woke. I think it's baloney. I love the idea. We're going to talk about it. We have Chandler Smith, who's going to be attempting the Daytona 500 for Kaulig Racing. We will talk about that. And the main reason I know you're watching this video, which is okay, Motorsport games. I do not want to start there, though. I want to talk about literally everything else that's happening in the world of motorsports until we get to Motorsport games, because that's a train wreck. I don't want to talk about negative train wreck stuff. I want to talk about fun stuff. I will say this, though. We did invite a certain YouTuber onto this program tonight. Did he DM, answer any of my emails? No. Did he answer any of my public tweets? No. Did he accept the challenge to come on this program? No. So he has decided this show's beneath him, and you and I, fans, are beneath him. That's fine. I'm not going to name him because, frankly, I don't want to give him more of a platform. I don't even want to acknowledge his name, but I saw that some of you were calling him Captain Sleeveless because apparently you go to the gym once a month and you get to be sleeveless. Hey, man, I work out, 3-4 times a week, and I do it to stay healthy. I don't do it to show off for the ladies. I'm married. So, I mean, if you want to be sleeveless on the internet, that's cool, man. You do you. You be happy being sleeveless, but don't try to be a reporter. Do not try to be a professional if you're taking bribes. That's all I'm saying. And let's be clear, if he did accept those gifts to go to the racetrack and then said happy, praiseful things from this about this company, then those are bribes. Captain Sleeveless? No, Disco Inferno. It's not Captain Sleeveless. What gave you that thought? What is this thought? You gave him that name. Disco Inferno 70, that's actually a very funny name. That made me legitimately laugh out loud when I first saw that. I think it was last night. Sun's out, guns out, dirty deeds. Yes, this is where the conversation's going tonight. I can feel it. I literally want to talk about all things motorsports. We will talk about motorsport games. There is stuff that I frankly just talking about motorsport games very, very briefly here before we get into it later on in the show. There are certain things that I am aware of. I cannot legally or professionally talk about them in a public or private forum. I can't even tell my wife. I would love to tell my wife. I would love to tell anybody the things that I know, but I cannot report them yet legally. I did not sign any paperwork. I just know what will happen if I do report these things. It's a sticky situation. You have a lot of people invested in a certain contract between Motorsport Games and multiple organizations, let's just say. And in contracts like those, you typically will get things like defamation clauses, meaning if any party in that contract come out and say anything negative about either or of the party, there will be legal ramifications. Because of that, certain people cannot say certain things. They cannot discuss things publicly, or their wishes, or how things are going. But I will say this. I can tell you, I personally talked to NASCAR about everything that's happening at Motorsport Games in the past. They are aware of all of our complaints, of all of our frustrations. And they have things in the works. That's all I can say. I wish I could say more. I wish I could say, this is what they're trying to do. That's what they want to do. They don't like this. They like this. I can't, because no one can say anything. Motorsport Games, flipping this around, if they were unhappy with something that was going on at NASCAR, they couldn't trash talk or say anything otherwise because of said contracts. So contracts are wonderful. They allow us to get certain things guaranteed. However, they also prevent us from doing certain things. The millisecond, and I do mean the millisecond, that I can report what I've seen, what I know that is going on legally, I'm going to report it. That story is written up here, and it might be written down somewhere, ready to go. I'm just saying, all I know is that us, the fans, crying out, saying this is not good, is the right thing to do. What can we do as fans when it comes to everything that's happening with Motorsport Games? Do not buy any products from them. If you truly do not want to support them, this is how you don't do that. Do not buy any products from them. The games, the DLCs, anything. Do not buy anything from them because that supports them financially. That supports that product. I talked to NASCAR. This I can say. I talked to NASCAR a few months ago, and I simply expressed that the thing that helped me get into NASCAR in the early 2000s, in the late 90s, was the video games. I did not have a knowledge of NASCAR, and back in my day, we didn't have the internet, so it was harder to get information. It was harder to learn. It was harder to research. And literally how I learned NASCAR, other than watching it on the couch with my family, was literally picking up NASCAR 99, NASCAR 98. Yes, those old EA days, pre-NASCAR Thunder days. I picked up those games, and I kind of got the arcadey feel of those down. And then when the Thunder Series came out, my gosh, had I known that was the golden age of NASCAR gaming, console gaming at the time, I would have appreciated it a lot more. But I lived through literally NASCAR not having yearly releases, to NASCAR having consistent yearly great releases, to it getting better, and then the dive off, and then, new developer, and then it dived off, and where we are right now, new developer, and the dive off. So this is kind of a constant trend in video games, especially with NASCAR, unfortunately, and NASCAR understands that having a good console game is important to developing a younger audience, to bringing in the younger fans, which is the thing NASCAR has struggled with. I will say this, the thing that I truly think needs to happen, no more exclusive licensing. And I mean this for literally every single motorsport game. I'm talking to SRX. I'm talking to Supercross. I'm talking to IndyCar. I'm talking to NHRA, NASCAR. Every racing organization needs to stop, this is my personal belief, signing exclusive contracts with game developers. What instead I believe needs to happen is what we saw in the early 2000s. In the year 2002, literally, do the math, that was 21 years ago, we had multiple NASCAR games come out from multiple developers. And what ultimately happened? It made the fans choose, but it also created competition because each one of these game developers really had to step up their game to outdo the other one. And who ended up winning? The fans. During that time, we got NASCAR Thunder 2002. Which kicked off and started a wonderful trend for EA with the console games. We got NASCAR, the Papyrus Racing Simulator at the time, NASCAR Racing Season 2002, which later became NR, and it was a wonderful, wonderful progression. And we also got NASCAR Heat, and we got NASCAR Dirt to Daytona, 4 NASCAR games, all within 12 months. The NASCAR Racing 2003 is better, NASCAR King. Yeah, I agree with you. Let me get to some of this chat, actually. Dirty Deeds, man, I run a very successful league on Heat 5, have since 2018, won the inaugural Pro League championship as a crew chief with Stewart Haas Racing, and my son simply has the best broadcast on NASCAR Heat 5. We're just kind of wondering when the servers are going to go down. Dirty Deeds, I agree with you. And frankly, that is great. I wish your league and every other league many years of continued success. But yes, there will be a time if Motorsport Games goes out of business sometime in the near future, those servers will stop working, period. They will go down. At that point, I don't know what will happen. Maybe there will be another company if Motorsport Games goes under, which seems to be the popular theory, which seems to be where this is inevitably going. Ultimately, that means that somebody could buy up the remaining assets of the company, meaning the servers, meaning the game code, meaning its personnel, meaning its debt. If somebody wants to buy those out of foreclosure, bankruptcy sale, and continue the company essentially, or fold it into an existing company. So if I'm EA, well, EA is probably a bad example, but I'm going to give the EA example. But if EA wanted to, let's just say, buy Motorsport Games, kind of absorb them into their fold, give them more money, and let them kind of do their thing. First off, they would fire that idiot Dimitri because he's clearly a con artist. I'm just saying. He comes off very con-like in his actions. And when you look into his past and we find out that he's done this not once, but to 2 other companies where he builds up a company, gives himself a 600% raise, then the company folds slowly after and he kind of runs to another country and hides his millions. Well, then it's kind of dicey, man. It's kind of not cool. So I hope that the company does somehow continue in some way, shape, or form. Have you heard anything on the gaming studio Milestone being interested in building NASCAR? If they could get the license, MotoGP is really good. I'd say give them a shot. Yeah, they did a great job with MotoGP. I have not played the game, but I've seen it and I've heard what people have said about it. It sounds phenomenal. And yes, I would love to see another game developer that actually does care about the product, and does have people in frankly one location, kind of put money into this company and actually give its personnel a shot, because sincerely there are some good people within Motorsport Games, good programmers, good people that legitimately are fans of motorsports and want to produce a good game. However, there is one idiot leading them all whose decisions has led that company to basically crumble, put out inadequate products, not having the resources to really build a good game. And the millisecond that reportedly somebody disagrees with this idiot in charge, he fires them. That's happened time and time and time again. Multiple former employees and current employees have confirmed that. Now, they have until tomorrow morning to pay their employees who have not seen a paycheck since October 2022. It's disgusting. It's despicable. I think that when you give yourself a 632% bonus after you're coming off of a not good year financially for your company, after you've put out what many are calling one of the worst games, period. Not just NASCAR games, but games, period. It's pretty bad. Dirty Deeds in the chat. I feel they have built an arcade game. 704 was on the right track until they sold out to a company that literally has no knowledge of NASCAR racing. Yeah, I agree. I think that 704 actually was building something very nicely. Then Motorsport Games bought them out and everything kind of went to hell right there. Michael Turner in the chat. Monster Games and iRacing released the Dirt World of Outlaw game. Yeah, that game is great. I haven't had a chance to play it either. Again, I have a PC. My Xbox is dead, and I don't have a PlayStation. If somebody wants to send me either one of these, I'm okay with that. But I'm enjoying my PC games. I just wish that the World of Outlaws dirt racing game would get a PC release so that I can play it. I don't feel like modding and doing illegal things to make it work on my computer. I know how to do it. I just don't want to do illegal things and break my computer to do that. But yeah, Monster Games, they also did the SRX game that I still play on the channel occasionally, and I have a great time with that. That is a phenomenal game. I absolutely love it. Hopefully, Monster Games and iRacing can continue to build more games. I'd love to see World of Outlaws 2. I'd love to see what a better version of that game is, because everybody says it's a phenomenal game, and honestly, so was the SRX game, which was built on the Tony Stewart dirt racing games that nobody really bought. But the SRX game was a banger, y'all. Like, I was grinning. I'm grinning ear to ear playing that game, sitting here wheeling it. It's just so much fun. I cannot say enough about that game. Monster made the Heat games. Yes, they did. They really worked on those Heat games. And yes, admittingly, you look at the Heat series, it is not perfect. It is not a perfect series. The NASCAR Heat series over the last 5, 6, 7 years, however long it's been now, was really the progression that Motorsport Games was trying to make with NASCAR 21 Ignition, meaning NASCAR Heat Evolution was a stinker. NASCAR Heat 2 was significantly better and a step in the right direction. 3 built on that, 4 built on that, and 5 should have built on that, but that was the beginning of the Motorsport Games era with NASCAR Heat 5, where essentially they just copied and pasted, and it wasn't a good situation. Monster Games and iRacing. Michael Turner completing his comment there. 704 was on the right path, that they were moving way too slow. 5 years of games, and they still had a bare bone product. I agree, but 704 didn't have the resources. I would argue that Motorsport Games definitely doesn't have the resources. You need a bigger house. Production house, I mean, in order to really build on your assets. That's why I like Monster more or less being purchased up by iRacing, because they showed this is what a successful acquisition should look like, because you had Monster Games getting all of the assets from iRacing and iRacing helping them, and they kind of came together. They brought all their people together, and they created a really cool product based on something that they had already. And yes, it wasn't a overnight jump, but when you're doing year-to-year releases, it's really, really difficult. Frankly, I would like to see an every 2-year game from NASCAR, IndyCar, etc., all the racing series, because really from year to year, not much changes other than your roster, which essentially is here's a free DLC with the new content. Have that come out Daytona weekend. For example, if everything was peachy keen and awesome with Motorsport Games and they actually produce good games, what I would love to see, I would have loved to seen NASCAR 22, but a good version of NASCAR 22 come out. But when we get to Daytona in a few weeks here, I would love to automatically open my game, and here's the 2023 roster with the cars, with the pit crews, with the tracks, with the schedules, so that I can restart my career the day NASCAR is in Daytona, and it's literally the 2023 schedule. That's the ideal scenario, but that is a lot to ask, and I realize that. So that's the dream. That's the hope. In the chat, Disco Inferno, if you can't deliver a better game in a quicker time, you will fail to keep people interested in supporting you. I agree. That very accurate. I think the problem is that Motorsport Games essentially was working on a game for 2 years that clearly needed 3 or 4 years to work on. And frankly, in hindsight, I railed about this in the moment, but I would have loved to see NASCAR Heat 6, just a literally copy paste of NASCAR Heat 5 with the current roster. I know the new cars kind of prevented that, but that would have been a good thing to do, to buy time, to give yourself more time to work on that initial game. Motorsport Games reportedly took 3.5 to 4 years to work on NASCAR 21 Ignition. Clearly, it needed more time. Clearly. Which is why they canceled NASCAR 22, because it essentially was going to be a copy-paste, and they came up with the excuse, we're working on 23. 23 is going to be a lot better. It's a ground up, rebuild from scratch. So they took almost 4 years to make NASCAR 21 Ignition, but they was saying we only need 2 years to work on another new game that is going to be better than the one that took 4 years. What? That was their logic. That's what they're still supposedly saying, and I don't believe it. I think that, frankly, they don't know how to make a good product because they have programmers that don't know NASCAR, that don't know motorsports, which is not what you need. There are hundreds of thousands of great programmers on this planet. You're telling me that not a single one is a NASCAR fan? I refuse to believe that. I think they're out there. I just think you need to pay them what they're worth to give them the time to do the job that they need to do. This is not an overnight, ready-to-go thing. This is going to require hundreds of thousands of hours by hundreds of people. Give them the time they need. Let's produce a really good product. 704 engaged players like no other. Yes, they did. NASCAR teams hire drivers and put out live. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Disco Inferno. If you are interested, I think you could host a roundtable with 2 or 3 YouTubers to discuss these topics. I'm available whenever you want to do it on your channel. I'm game. Let's go. I'm very down. And I think that's something I'm going to do. Disco Inferno 70, you are officially invited to this, and let me know what you guys think in the chat. I would love to have a different YouTuber on every week on Shifting Gears, time permitting. Every Sunday night, we're going to do Shifting Gears, talking about all things motorsports. But honestly, I want to have different YouTubers on to talk about motorsports, gaming, life, whatever. I don't care, anything. Because this is your show, just as much as it is mine. I want this to be so much more freeform. I thought about doing a Discord, and then I realized if I open up a Discord voice chat, boom, 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 it's going to get crazy. So it's a lot. It's a lot. The Hoop Master. All the good motorsport game workers need to get out of this company before they implode soon. Hoop Master, I agree. I hope that they can find work, because here's the thing. When you've spent the last few years at a failing company and it does fail, the only thing on your resume is that failed company. Is anybody going to want to hire them? Because you don't know. We probably will never know where the responsibility lies. We're assuming it's the CEO. That's what we're hearing. But none of us were in the room. We can hear from these employees, but it turns into a he said, she said, and it turns into passing the blame, rolling it downhill to the programmers who were really, really, really putting their heart and soul into this product and simply didn't have the time to create a product that they could be proud of, which is just a big, big, big shame. Dirty Deeds. I can see Monster and iRacing putting out a great game. No need for charter cars. Give me a paint booth to make our own schemes. Let Motorsport make the video game. Let Monster give us a sim. Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be that debate. iRacing in the sim community versus the console community. But I would argue my niece, who is in middle school, is not ready for a sim. Her driving talents are just not there. You know how they will be there? Playing on a console. You know how my driving talents built up slowly, clearly very slowly, if you've seen my channel, years of playing on console. There's nothing wrong with console. I'm not saying console is the baby of the sim. It's not. It's just consoles are supposed to be for kids, frankly, and there is nothing wrong with adults playing it. I'm somebody who's in his mid-30s who regularly plays on a Switch, on a PlayStation, on an Xbox, and on my PC. Not so much my Xbox, but I still have a working PS3, man, and it plays PS1 and 2 games. It's backwards compatible. But I would love a good console game to give to my niece, because frankly I had to buy her NASCAR Heat 5. I was not a proud uncle buying that product for her. I got happy seeing her sitting there with her controller having fun, because that's what it's all about, but I was sitting there going, this isn't the best product. I legitimately wish I could have given her a copy of NASCAR Thunder 2004. I'm not giving her my copy of NASCAR Thunder 2004. I'm not. I love her. I don't love her that much. I'm just saying, for the record, I wouldn't give my wife a copy of NASCAR Thunder 2004. If you have a copy of NASCAR Thunder 2004 from 2004, you hold on to that. That's worth its weight in gold, my friends. You hold on to that. You never let go of that. David Weaver in the chat. What I would love to see from whoever takes over NASCAR also grabs IndyCar and runs like Codemaster with F1. 1 year is NASCAR, the next IndyCar. That's an idea. David Weaver in the chat. I absolutely love that. First off, I highly agree with you with what Codemasters did with F1. Before EA took over, admittingly, things were going in a wonderful direction. Truly, they were. I frankly, when I first picked up a Codemaster F1 game, I went, this is what racing games can be on consoles? I was blown away. It was so great, so in-depth. It gave me NASCAR Thunder 2004 vibes, but with F1 and in current console form, which is wonderful. I wish we could see that, and I never thought of it, but that is a wonderful idea with NASCAR game 1 year and the next year IndyCar. That's a great idea, but with two different teams working on each one that are passionate and knowledgeable of each. David Weaver in the chat, knocking it out of the park, man. I absolutely love it. Let me catch up on some of these chats here. Michael Turner, best NASCAR Heat game is NASCAR Heat 4, released in 2019. Michael Turner, I agree with you. I don't play Heat 4 as much. I play Heat 5. I think it's just because it's like the newer roster version, to be frank. But Heat 4 is better, frankly. It does not have as many glitches. It does not have as much brokenness in it. But I just play Heat 5. I think it's just because it's you know, the newer, better, not broken one, in my opinion. But Heat 4 is great, man. It really is. And David Weaver, my example is F1, where, hang on, I'm catching up. My example is F1, where 1 year we have the career mode and the next year is the story mode. That's a really good idea, too, and we should be getting more on F1 23 with that story mode soon. It's supposed to come in 23. I hope it comes in 23. We'll have to wait and see. Disco Inferno, these developers have lost the vision of what a NASCAR console game should be. They are too focused on DLC and esports when they need to focus on a career mode and offline content. I agree. But here's the bad part of that, Disco. The DLC is what will constantly bring in little pieces of revenue here and there. It's kind of the cherry on top, you know, for them financially. I understand smaller studios need those DLCs in order to survive. Esports, I think, just to create that online buzz, you need esports. I do agree that's where their focus has been, and I agree it needs to be on actual offline content. I'm playing NASCAR Thunder 2003 right now. By the way, I just recorded my Season 1 finale, and it was good, and I'm going to be recording Season 2 here probably tonight after the show. I was just looking at the Thunder plates and the things you can unlock and the things you could do. I legitimately miss that because we all grind racing games, and when you grind that and there's actual reward other than these stupid little stars on like your Xbox, oh, you unlock this, oh, you unlock that. That's cool, but if I, you know, win a race in a Bill Elliott car and I unlock a Bill Elliott paint scheme, I'd rather do that because I'd rather race the Bill Elliott paint scheme. Things like that made the game more in-depth, and it doesn't take much to do that stuff. And frankly, make it so that I can either unlock it by grind to unlock all those paint schemes and all that stuff, or can just pay you. Because me, a few years ago when I had all the time in the world before college, when I was in high school and not doing homework and stuff, or, you know, adulting, I had all the time in the world. I could have just sat there and grind all day long, race after race, and I would have loved it. Now, you know, working with the racetrack in San Bernardino and going out, you know, to LA to the studio 5 days a week and, you know, working with ARN, I don't have all the time in the world, let alone the YouTube time, and I have a wife and a doggo at home. Like, I don't get to see them as much. I'm working a lot. So I wouldn't mind in my older age just going, here's the money, give me the cool stuff. So having both options, I think, would be preferred depending on if you want to grind or if you just want to spend the money. That way, you shouldn't be punished if you don't feel like spending more money, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Disco Inferno, F1 nailed it. Yep, Dirty Deeds. We're racing in a half an hour. My son is broadcasting on Twitch. If you want to tune in and see what we could do with Heat 5. Imagine what you could do with a great game. Yeah, Dirty Deeds. I'm going to be, we're going to be on the air here for a half hour, so I might tune in. Drop the link in the comments. Why not? Self-promote. I'm down for that because I legitimately would like to check it out. So just drop the link in the comments for that Twitch channel. I'm just saying I would like to watch that, please, when we're off the air in about 30 minutes. Michael Turner, Codemasters F1 games are great. Ones I see with Codemasters. Yeah, they're great. Codemasters does a great job. I think that 22 was kind of a step backwards because it was a little too EA'd. And maybe we'd like to step back from that just a tiny bit EA so that you can focus on the gameplay. Just saying. Dirty Deeds. So I have a couple of friends that work in motorsports, and I post the opinions of uploading Heat 5 with cars and teams. I pose the option of updating Heat 5 with new cars and teams. Yes, that would be cool. I would love that. There is a way to mod Heat 5. I know that. I've seen guys like Gary Owen did it, I should say, with Heat 5, and he did a wonderful job with that. That is something that I would love to see. I know that fans have been working on a mod for Heat 5 that brings the new next-gen car, the 2022 car, and now 2023 car into that game, but I know that it is having problems. So I hope that does work out. I really want to see that. That would be great. But there's, licensing issues and things like that. There's a lot to it. It's not just, I can paint it real quick and put it in the game, because yes, we can do that, but that's illegal modding, and I'm not going to condone that. I can't condone that, but if you have fun with it, cool. Dirty Deeds, his response was, so you want us to take half the team off of Ignition and put them on a 2-year-old game? Yeah. Dirty Deeds, I said, go look at how many players are online right now for both games, and you can see yourself. Motorsports could save face. A week later, they announce an update, and we ain't ever getting it. Yeah, Dirty Deeds, if you gave them that idea, Dirty Deeds, legitimately, thank you. Thank you, because that was a great idea, sincerely. I would have loved to seen that NASCAR Heat 5 DLC with the 2022 roster. I would have loved to, but last I heard, there was massive coding issues with bringing the next-gen cars in over at Motorsport Games. They were having audio issues. They were having tracking issues, shadow issues, lighting issues on the car. Just issue after issue after issue. And it's not as simple as, paint the new car, go. I wish it was. That would make things so much easier. But it's not. Because the next-gen component is there, it kind of broke everything a little bit. A simple solution, a cheap solution, could be honestly maybe just painting the old car to look like the next gen. I don't love it, but just slide the number forward and make it kind of sort of look like the next gen on the old car. But I don't think that Ford, Chevy, and Toyota would love that idea. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if that ever comes about. I don't suspect the 2022 DLCs coming out, because we're a few weeks away from the season starting. We're about a month away from the season starting, actually, for NASCAR. So, I mean, just get a Sharpie and write 3 over the 2 and call it a day, Motorsport Games. Just make it easy on yourselves. Michael Turner, we need NASCAR Thunder Series career mode back in the future. NASCAR games, plus I have 2 dogs, yellow lab, and a pug. Michael Turner with the pug. Oh, I see the pug in the photo on my screen. That's cool, man. But yeah, I am doing the NASCAR Thunder 2003 career mode on the channel right now. Like I just said, I finished up season 1, the recording of that one last night, and more than likely I'm starting season 2 tonight, more than likely. I'm trying to get ahead. My wife and I just found out that we're going to be moving, actually. And I have until March 1st to be out of my current place, this place. So hopefully going to get the keys to the new place here in a few days, and then you're going to start seeing stuff disappear behind me. Going to be a new backdrop, going to be a new, legitimately, I'm going to have my own studio office. So I'm very, very, very happy about potentially having my own studio. We have to wait and see if it's officially happening, but we're like 90% sure it is, so we're excited about this. Dirty Deeds, awesome. I think you'll love it. Cool. NASCAR King in the chat, I just ordered NASCAR Racing 2003. Nice. Or though you ordered it? Where'd you order it from, bud? Because you can, if you get a physical copy, there are a handful of physical copies of NASCAR Racing 2003 floating around. I happen to have a copy, but it doesn't really work on current PCs. So ironically, you need to go find a digital copy of NASCAR Racing 2003, and you can put it on your computer because it is so old. It's over 20 years old at this point. It's abandoned, so it's out there among the sphere. Legally, you can download it. You can download it, but downloading it is illegal. It's a weird, sticky situation, but you can get it somewhere right now if you really wanted it. Dirty Deeds seriously did. A former NASCAR team owner's friend of mine works there. I won't name him, but Dirty Deeds. Yeah, I know how that goes, and yeah, man. I mean, hopefully, we hear some good news out of them. Hopefully. NASCAR King, eBay wasn't cheap. My guy. Oh. But hey, you have the physical copy, so you're doing it legally. I cannot fault you for that. You can't feel bad about that, man. Disco Inferno, I have to go, but enjoy your live stream. Hit me up on Twitter if you ever want to guest on your channel. Disco Inferno, I'm going to send you a message as soon as we're done here because we are going to talk, my friend. We're going to do something very, very, very soon. I'm a fan of yours as well, so can't wait to talk to you, man. If you're coming out to LA, we're doing a live show out in LA. We're doing, I just found this out. This can be our big announcement. We are doing this show live from the Los Angeles Coliseum after the 2023 LA Clash. I just got that email from NASCAR right before the show, I should say. I'm not saying that's why I was late, but that's why I was late. So we will definitely be doing something very soon. So seriously, call out to any NASCAR YouTuber if you are in Los Angeles at the Coliseum. So am I, in my city. So I live here. So we will talk. Seriously, send me a DM if you're a NASCAR YouTuber and you want to get on the live chat. If we have 10 YouTubers in the Coliseum doing this live show, I'm sure NASCAR is going to be okay with that. I'm sure that's going to be okay. I just literally need to add a chair and a mic, and that is easy to do. You can bring your own mic if you want. So yes, open invitation to YouTubers. YouTuber discussion live after the LA Coliseum. In the LA Coliseum, fans can stick around as well if you want to, watch the show live, literally. I can't afford LA. NASCAR King, I hear ya. I can't afford the parking. I'm a media member, and last year they didn't give us parking. Usually if it's a NASCAR track, they'll say, oh, here's your parking. But Los Angeles, you can't really give away parking in Los Angeles. On Saturday, I paid $70 to park my car. And then on Sunday, the cheapest I found within 5 blocks of the Coliseum was $100. I did not pay $100 to park my car. I cannot tell you where I parked my car or how much it was, but it's good. Disco Inferno, no, I'm in New York City. Wish I could go, though. My guy, I will talk to NASCAR and get your ticket covered. I mean, for the Coliseum, it might be a little late, but if you want to come out for the last race at the Auto Club Speedway, let me know. I'll talk to my friends at NASCAR. We will get you in. You are a media member. I'm just saying. We'll talk. I'll definitely DM you, though, Disco. Thank you for hanging out tonight in the chat. David Weaver in the chat. Thunder 04 was my second favorite NASCAR game. I am sad I sold it to help get an original Xbox. Yeah, I mean, fair. But I think that type of game will never return until any developer gets really serious. David, I don't think it's necessarily serious. I think the problem is time and money. If we get, honestly, a developer who's willing to get a couple of years out of NASCAR with no product on the market to develop the game with funding, then it could happen. But I agree. I think it's going to be a while before we get a NASCAR Thunder type series. But, I mean, the guys who made NASCAR Dirt to Daytona are right there. And they have a lot of assets from iRacing right down the hall. I mean, hopefully that deal at some point down the road will take shape. but it's going to take a while, unfortunately, I think, for that deal to come through. Dirty D's, I've always wanted a connected franchise to keep league points in game. Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know if that will ever happen. David Weaver, I wish I had it today. My guy, I agree with you. I'll say this: you can go online and you can find a copy if you really want. It's out there. I have an original copy. I do. Something that I didn't do this intentionally, but I wanted to work my way through the NASCAR Thunder series, really work my way through every NASCAR game that's ever been made here on the channel. And I just so happened to start with NASCAR Thunder 2002 in late 2021, and then it wrapped up. Then in 2022, we did NASCAR Thunder 2002. Which was pretty darn cool. 2003, which came out in 2002. So we're kind of on this train of doing NASCAR game career modes here on the channel 20 years after they drop. We're doing that right now with NASCAR Thunder 2003. We're going to be starting Season 2 in a few videos, and I may or may not have already signed with a team for Season 2 in NASCAR Thunder 2003 career mode. You're going to have to subscribe in order to watch that one. That one's a whole lot of fun. NASCAR King in the chat. I found Thunder 04 for $12. My guy, how did you do that? Where did you do that? Goodwill. It had to be Goodwill. It's always Goodwill, right? That's where you get all the cool stuff. I had some family members find, literally, Disney VHS tapes at Goodwill, like an entire box full. It was like, what? My childhood? What? The unedited, unmodified version of my childhood? The dirty version from Disney with all those cool Easter eggs? For like $5? What? It was pretty cool though. It was pretty cool for them though. So yeah, I'm very excited about doing this show at the LA Coliseum. We're also going to be doing it at the Auto Club Speedway. I'm very, very, very excited with that. Michael Turner in the chat. I might have to learn how to mod on the PS4 since my PS2 died in November 2022. I had that with my Xbox One back there. My HDMI output died, and I don't feel like ripping my Xbox open, yanking something off the board, and welding something back onto the board. It's just so much work for an Xbox. It's like, I don't want to. So I might get somebody to fix it down the road. I might not. I'm enjoying my PC right now. But Michael Turner, I recommend you going PC. I think it's easier to mod on PC than PS4, but I'm not a pro modder, so don't ask me. Dirty Deeds in the chat. Well, I got to get ready to race at New Hampshire. I'll watch the rest of this after we're done. Again, thanks for letting me share the link. Hope to see you there. Enjoy. Thank you so much, Dirty Deeds. NASCAR King. Old NASCAR store had it. Wow. Dirty Deeds in the chat. A few of our guys will be going to the Auto Club race. We got to hang out. We got to do a meetup of some kind. I say I'll do that every year, and then race day comes, and like you blink and it's over. It's like, where'd the time go? You know, it's so quick. You know, it's insane. So, yeah, the time between the LA Clash and the Auto Club Speedway race, I'm going to be moving. So, yeah, but check this out. It's like, which weekend do I move? These are my options. Do I move during the LA Clash weekend? No. I don't want to move during the LA Clash weekend. Okay, well, do I move during Super Sunday weekend? No, but maybe, because my other two options are, do I move during Daytona 500 weekend? Are you kidding me? No, I must have a working internet, working TV, working everything at the new place by then. Come on, it's Daytona. And then the next weekend after that, NASCAR comes back to town closer to my house to go to Auto Club Speedway. I'm not moving that weekend either. I've moved twice on that weekend before out of coincidence, and I don't enjoy it. So my wife and I are moving Super Sunday weekend. So I'm going to try to get everything done Saturday, and hopefully by Sunday I'm in a coma on the couch with a pretzel in my hand and many fattening foods, watching the big game, and then doing a post-race show about it here on the channel. NASCAR King in the chat, I'm going to the Pocono race this summer. That's cool for you. Legitimate question, NASCAR King. If you've ever been to a race at Pocono, how is it in person? Because I hate that track. Like, I do. I think it's too big. I think that if you literally take the whole track and literally it down into about a mile, it would be very cool. I don't think it needs to be 2.5 miles. I think it's just too massive. Way too massive. And I bet you, as a fan in the stands, would like to, see those cars a little closer to you. Let me know in the chat. Dirty Deeds in the chat. Yeah, we all live all over the country. We have to hit a few races a year with whoever's close. Staying in LA. I am not staying in LA for the LA Clash, Dirty Deeds. I live in in SoCal, I should say. So the Coliseum is about 35-ish miles for me, which is less than an hour normally, even with LA traffic. So yeah, I'm here. I live here. And I'm actually only about 10 to, well, no, maybe a little more like 15 or 20 miles away from the Fontana, from the Auto Club Speedway track, and I'm about 25 miles away from Orange Show Speedway in San Bernardino, California. I'm kind of in the middle of everything, and Irwindale Speedway is not that far. Paris is south of me, so I'm very, very, very fortunate, because people don't think that Southern California is the place to race, but I'm very much. I have many racetracks around me now, and this is wonderful. I'm in kind of the golden age of being a fan in Southern California as far as racetrack availability. Yeah, you said you're staying there. Yes, I'm actually moving not too far from where I am now, so I'm pretty excited. I'm moving about a mile away from where I am right now, so I'm not going too far. Sorry, Dirty Teats. NASCAR King, pretty good. I got a pit road pass for the 2015 race. You got to do that. If you're a true NASCAR fan, you got to, at some point in your life, get a pit road pass, a pit pass, and be on track. Like, seriously. The thing that I will always tell people, being at Auto Club Speedway, being on pit road in the first pit stall, and I'm the guy who kind of let the secret loose. I know, because it's gotten so much more crowded, but standing on pit road at pit exit in the first pit stall, because it's typically unused by NASCAR just for safety reasons, but standing there as cars are zipping by me at 200 miles an hour. And yes, there is a pit road there, but I mean, having them that close to me, wide open, is phenomenal. There is no other feeling in the world. It seriously makes me feel like a 5-year-old, and it makes me giddy in some ways, because I'm just so thoroughly excited to be there, to have that sensation. That feeling is great. Just phenomenal. The Hoop Master on the chat saw on Twitter you tried to get Bleep to come on. I assume he didn't contact you back. Hoopmaster, you are correct. I reached out a couple of other ways. Radio silence, which is funny because he was trash talking when he was confronted by me on Twitter a couple weeks ago, and yeah, he did not acknowledge. I'm not saying his name on the video tonight on the live, because frankly I don't want to give him more of a platform. I don't want to promote him in any way, because if some of those allegations are true, accepting bribes from a particular company to say good things about them in exchange for goods, that's bribery. So he accepted a bribe, reportedly, if it's true. We know the answer. We do. But until he says it, we can't confirm it. And he's never going to admit that, and neither is the company that bribed him, which is fine. He's an individual who really likes to put people down. Apparently, I saw something about him having something against convenience store workers, I guess. I don't understand that. where his unnecessary, hatred is coming from. But I don't condone that. I don't condone hate of any kind, and that's fine, man. I wanted to give him an opportunity to confront these allegations and kind of get in front of them and maybe disprove them, and him not accepting the invitation to come on this program to talk about it with me, with you, the fans, is disappointing, but understandable. He chose not to do that, which is very unfortunate, but it's fine. He's choosing to try to get away with it, which is fine. He wants to try to get away with it. That's fine. But I think his credibility has taken one heck of a hit because of this. And I think that's more damaging than anything. So, but that's me. I have journalistic integrity. Not everybody does. It is what it is. Ethan in the chat, gonna say that watching one race at New Hampshire last year, overseeing Texas Motor Speedway races since 2017 in person is a huge upgrade. Hi. Yeah, Ethan, I'm assuming TMS is Texas Motor Speedway. And yeah, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. Dirty D's, looking forward to chatting racing a lot more with you in the future. Gotta run. Thanks, Dirty D's, for hanging out tonight, coming on out. Definitely going to be talking in the future as well. NASCAR King in the chat. I got to meet Jeff Gordon in the 2015 Pocono race, and I'm a Chase Elliott fan. Expected motorsport games to die this year. Their stock is 3-something. It's that high? It went up to $3? Wow, Motorsport Games. Look at you guys. I didn't think it was ever going to get that high again. Good for them, man. They're coming back. It's the comeback tour. Yeah. No, I don't expect them to be around much longer either. Employees gave them until tomorrow in order to receive pay that reportedly hasn't been paid since October of 2022. Again, if this is true, we cannot confirm this, but if this is true, then we're going to see code for 4 games drop on the internet sometime tomorrow because of lack of payment to Motorsport Games employees. So it's not good, man. Michael Turner, I can't mod on PC. It will cost too much money to download it, especially right now with everything just too expensive. Yeah, Michael, everything is expensive. Modding typically isn't that expensive, though. So, you might have to do a little bit more research. I haven't gotten into a whole lot of modding myself, but there are some free modding communities that are wonderful out there, depending on what game you're trying to mod. So there are other people on YouTube and online that know a lot more about modding than I do. Don't ask me about modding. I'm not a modder. I don't really know modding too much. But I did, Ethan, I'm in the chat. I mean, if we're going to get the codes, at least we can build a modern NR 2003. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I personally would take maybe the NASCAR Heat code and work with the Heat code instead of the NASCAR 21 code, because NASCAR 21 code clearly broken. The IndyCar game is supposedly, just like NASCAR 21 Ignition, an R Factor 2 mod as a game. That's essentially what it is, or at least built off the R Factor 2 platform. So, I mean, it could be decent. I don't know. I really don't know what the IndyCar game looks like at all. But I know that the NASCAR game internally has been pushed back from a mid-2023 to a late 2023 release because of budgetary issues. And I do know for a fact that there are less than 10 people currently working on that game. I mean, it needs at least 45 people working on it from now until next year in order to get done. I don't see them finishing that game this year at all with their current resources. And now people aren't getting paid and haven't been paid for a little while. It's just not good. IndyCar, in the chat, I should say, NASCAR fan 24, dude, IndyCar game off R Factor 2 on console is going to be hell. Yeah, I'm assuming that was an off typo right there, NASCAR fan. Yeah, I don't know how the R Factor 2 IndyCar mod works. I don't. I haven't heard anything, and I think the fact that Motorsport Games knows that NASCAR is a bigger property than IndyCar, no offense to IndyCar, it's just a fact, um, and that they've put more money into the NASCAR game, knowing that there's only less than 10 people working on that game. I can't imagine there's more than 5 or 6 people working on the IndyCar game. Seriously. Meaning, it's probably not going to be great. I wish that weren't the case. I wish we had better news, but we don't. It's just not going to be good at all. I mean, I'm worried, to say the very least. NASCAR King in the chat, you can mod GTA 5. Yes, you can. That has a very healthy, very long running modding community, and good for them, man. There's good stuff in there. I'm over GTA really. I know that they're finally doing a new one, which is going to be great. I'm sure it's going to look wonderful, but I got kind of bored of it and burned out, honestly. I played a lot back in the day, but just not so much anymore. Michael Turner in the chat, employees give Motorsport Games until Wednesday to get paid. I mean, maybe that's the case. I was being told that it was this coming Monday, as in tomorrow morning, the 23rd. But keep in mind, this is a company that's been hemorrhaging money and has no income right now, effectively, and has no capital to pay their employees, which is just devastating. They didn't pay most of their employees dating back to October. A good chunk of their employees haven't gotten paid since Halloween. That is just so bad. I feel horrendous for their families. Can you imagine that stress? Just imagine for a second. You go into work. You're working 6 days a week or more in some cases, and you're working 18-hour days, and you're not getting paid. Legitimately, how are you doing that? I went through that when my wife was sick, when we were in Arizona in late 2020, most of 2021. We were in Arizona. I had no income. Everything was still shut down. I had no income. My wife had no income, and we still had bills to pay. And I was in another state trying to figure out a way to pay bills with no way to work. That was tough. That was stressful for me. I went through that for 10 months in Arizona with my wife with no income for either of us. And things were difficult, to say the very least. You guys helped me through that emotionally in a big, big, big way. I can't imagine what these employees are going. I can imagine what these employees are going through because I went through it. And the fact that they're going to work and doing all these things and working their butts off to try to get these games out and they're not getting paid is devastating. Doing that through the holiday season, doing that into a new year, and in some cases making employees literally uproot their lives and move to another country for their job and not offering them any assistance. And then when they get to another country for a job, they find out that they took a 20% pay cut. That was done with some of the employees in an office overseas, and they were told to relocate to the United States for their job. They were offered no compensation for their move, which is not right. If you have somebody move their entire life to another country for a job, pay to help them move. Give them a check to help them pay for the expenses to moving to another country. To bring their families and everything to another country is just honestly amazing that they didn't offer them any compensation. And then when they got here ready to do their job, to find out that they received a 20% pay cut. What in the world? It's honestly just so baffling to me. It really is. NASCAR fan 24 dude, I wish somebody would pull the plug and release the NASCAR 22 DLC for Heat 5 at least, but I doubt it. Yeah, my understanding, NASCAR fan, is that NASCAR Heat 5 2022 DLC is nowhere near ready. It is nowhere near functional. It has massive crashing issues, massive tracking issues, lighting issues, sound issues. It's just problem after problem. It's not ready, and from what I understand, no team is currently working on it. Maybe that will change. Maybe 1 or 2 people can try to fix that DLC, but from what I hear, it's a lost cause. The Hoopmaster in the chat, by the way, is still the 23rd. Where I live, that would mean the source code would be leaked on the 24th for me. Hoopmaster, I'm not sure where you live, so maybe. But that's if this employee lives up to those demands. If they actually go through with releasing those codes online, which frankly is a massive, massive, massive breach in that employee's contract. That's massive legal consequences for that employee if they do it. But frankly, there's massive legal consequences for Motorsport Games not paying their employees since October. So, it is what it is. I don't know. The millisecond that it's out, I'm going to tweet it. I'll tweet it at Hey Alan Bailey. I'll let you all know as soon as that code is leaked. But if you guys see it, send it to me. You guys have been great about that on Twitter. Keep going. Bring it. NASCAR King in the chat. I know what it feels like not getting paid in 2022 and not getting paid until the summer of that year. Yeah, NASCAR King, you feel the same way. It's not okay. The way it happened to me is I was fired when my wife got sick, and I couldn't work while my wife was sick because I was kind of keeping her alive. And because of that, I was working, and it was a different situation, but working and not getting paid is just so wrong. Michael Turner in the chat, if not getting paid, I would have quit at Motorsport Games. Yeah, I would have as well. I would have walked out, and if they would have complained, where are you? I would have said, where's my paycheck? You can't fire me. You haven't paid me. Where's my paycheck? At that point, I don't think you have a job anymore if you're not getting a paycheck. Am I wrong? Michael King in the chat, I didn't get paid in 2022 until the summer. Jeez. Yeah, NASCAR fan, same thing. Jeesh. That's all you can say. It's not a good situation at all. I truly feel for the employees because most of them haven't been paid. Sincerely, are they okay? I'm being serious. Open invitation to any Motorsport Games employee. Are you okay? Do you have a roof over your head? Are your children and your family, are they provided for? Do you have food in your pantry? Are your bills paid? I'm willing to bet your bills aren't paid, but is your health okay? Are you safe? These are legitimate questions I have for these employees. I'm sincerely praying for them. I'm not joking. Like, these are people's lives that are innocent people, good, hardworking, good people that are getting screwed over because of one guilty idiot CEO that doesn't know what he's doing, that does not express a sincere interest in producing good quality products, but instead scamming investors out of their money. And that's precisely what he did. And he took money from me and you. He took money from his employees, and it's just not good. It's not good at all. The Hoopmaster in the chat just realized I'm ahead in my day. Sorry, ignore my prior comment. Okay. No, it's all good, Master. Yeah, as soon as something gets released, yes, I'm going to put it on my Twitter. I'll let you guys know, hey, the code's out. I'm sure you guys will see it before I do. I live in California, and I tend to sleep in. So, that's what happens when you work late at a studio in Los Angeles and don't get home until after midnight in California most nights. It's fine. I love my job. I sincerely love my job. I love my coworkers. I don't love my hours, but, it's fine. I still get to drive into LA full time, working at a studio in Los Angeles, working with some great people, and I get paid to do it. I get paid to play on the radio, which is a whole lot of fun out here in Los Angeles. So, I love my job. Sincerely, I do. But because of that, I do sleep in. And because of that, I don't see things that get released at 6, 7, 8, 9 in the morning, sometimes on East Coast time, until much, 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 much later in my day. Typically around 9 a.m. local time, so noon Eastern is when I typically wake up. So I guess in that regard, I'm a lazy slacker with my 3 jobs. But it's all good. I did have a cool announcement, by the way. I am the track announcer out at Orange Show Speedway in San Bernardino, California. And let me see if I can pull this up for you. Here we go. Just because I can. Here is our website. No, it's not AmericanRacingNetwork.com, but that is Orange Show Speedway, and that is our season opener, Saturday, March 4th, 2023. We're going to have a lot more stuff coming out over the next couple of weeks. Hello, Toyota of Redlands. We had a really good year. We've got Hot Pit Auto Fest returning in 2023 with a number of dates. We do have our championship banquets coming up this Saturday night. I'm really excited about that one because I get to see all my friends again. I don't get a chance to hang out with my Speedway friends as often as I'd like, and frankly, racing, going to the racetrack a couple of Saturdays a month to Orange Show Speedway in San Bernardino, California, allows me the opportunity to keep a wonderful, wonderful group of people who share a deep passion for motorsports and racing and competition together. And we are small but mighty Speedway. Only a fourth mile. It's a very small track, but my gosh, do we have fun out at Orange Show Speedway. So I'm excited, man. We've got a great season planned in 2023. The full 2023 schedule might be coming out tomorrow morning. Keep an eye on orangeshowspeedway.org for the latest information. It'll be here on our website. In the chat, Michael Turner, I'm praying for hardworking employees who earned it. I have been a type 2 diabetic since February 2017. Exercise to get healthy. Michael Turner, my friend, I am so sorry about your diabetes diagnosis. I hope that you're doing okay. I'm in that position too. I have a history of diabetes in my family, and I don't have it, thank God, not yet, but I have to watch what I eat. I exercise regularly. I try to drink as much water as possible because you got to take care of yourself. And importantly, on that thought process, you got to take care of your physical well-being, getting blood work done in order to check cholesterol, blood diseases, all these things that can crop up, no fault of our own. And you have to take care of your physical body, your physical needs, warmth, food, etc., sleep. Very important. But you also need to take care of your psychological needs. A lot of people kind of shove those to the side, but I recommend everybody take care of yourself. You know, it's not easy to do. I'm not going to sit here and be like, it's not hard to do. It is. It's hard to try to get 8 hours a night. It's hard to try to eat regularly meals constantly throughout the day. It's hard to try to drink enough water throughout your day. It's hard to try to take care of yourself. And more often than not, we shove our emotional needs and our emotional health off to the side. That's not okay. That's something that I've been guilty of for a very long time. I deal with a lot of that myself, and I deal with depression. I have fought depression and suicidal thoughts in my past years ago. And that's tough, man. You gotta work through that stuff. And I'm not telling you this because I want you to feel bad for me or, to exploit this community or anything like that. No, I'm saying this because, if me talking about it gets a single person, one person somewhere to realize, hey, I need to take better care of myself emotionally and physically, then I've done everything that I know I need to do. And that's helping people. That's what I try to do. So also in the chat, let's see. The Hoopmaster, if the codes get released tomorrow, the motorsport community is probably going to explode. No. I don't think it's going to explode. I really don't. I think that it's going to show that motorsport games clearly is in disarray. I think it's for the people who know the code, the people who have the computer knowledge to take that code and actually show us what that code looks like, meaning here's the game in its current state, we'll get a very clear look of how broken or not the game is. And frankly, I mean, that essentially means that all those games are going to be free, essentially, online tomorrow to play. Not just the code. Yes, the code's going to be out there, I'm sure, but more specifically, I believe it's the IndyCar game, the NASCAR game, the NASCAR 21 game, NASCAR Heat 5, and I believe there's another, it's 4 games that supposedly are getting released by this employee. And I don't know, maybe that's correct. Maybe that employee is going to pull the trigger on that. Good for them. If they choose to purge themselves and create, a bad legal situation for them. But, frankly, it's something that employee is going to have to deal with. And I am not going to sit here and encourage you to go out and seek out this code and to download it. I'm not saying that because it's wrong. It is wrong, but I'm saying that because that opens up you to potential legal ramifications. Is that likely to happen? Probably not. Do you want to take the chance? I don't. I really don't. I don't want, copyright lawyers to come after me with paperwork saying, you downloaded our game illegally. Here's a lawsuit. I don't want to deal with that. So I'm not going to seek these out. If you guys want to seek them out, I don't encourage that, but good for you. That's fine if that's something you choose to do. I know the modders are gonna be all over this. I can guarantee you, within an hour of those games being somewhere online, guaranteed there will be a mod for one of them. The game itself will have been completed and put out there somewhere. Hoopmaster, not stupid enough to download them. Hoopmaster, yes. Anytime I say I'm not stupid enough to bleep, I typically agree with you. Yes, that is the appropriate response. But out of 100 of us, guarantee someone will accidentally go click and click that, and then all of a sudden, oh boy, that's not a good situation here. Yeah, I hope for the best, but I'm bracing for the worst with that. So we'll go ahead and we'll just see what happens. But I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching the chat tonight, or for watching the live stream tonight. It's Shifting Gears Live here on Sunday, January 22nd, 2023. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up now. The offer stands. If any YouTuber, motorsports YouTuber in any capacity, or any YouTuber period, wants to come onto the program to talk NASCAR, IndyCar, F1, you name it, anything in the world of motorsports, come on. Send me a DM at Hey Alan Bailey on all of the social media channels. I need to take a sip of water. I have been extraordinarily parched today. But seriously, open invitation to any NASCAR or motorsports YouTuber or gamer. Twitch, I don't care where you stream. I don't. But it is sincerely an open invitation for you to come on Shifting Gears sometime in the 2023 season. Anytime this year. We're going to go from now until probably the Sunday before Thanksgiving, every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, right here on youtube.com/Hey Alan Bailey. You can support the channel for free. This is free, by simply hitting that subscribe button, liking this video, and sharing it on your social media account. It means the world to me and my family, sincerely. We have a lot going on, and this helps us out so much, so thank you. If you are also a gamer and you want to check out our brand new second gaming channel, it's Alan Battles. The link is in the description. There is a lot of good stuff that's going to be coming on there in the near future. My wife and I have kind of started that one together to game, even though it's my name. It's both of us. She's a little camera shy, but we broke her of that. She was on camera for the first time during a live not too long ago. Don't think we're going to do a live tonight, but we will be doing lives, multiple, down the road. We will be recording and putting videos out on that channel down the road, so we're really excited about that one. Like I said, you can follow me or reach out to me on social media at Hey Alan Bailey, everywhere on social media. You can also get the latest motorsports news by visiting AmericanRacingNetwork.com, ARN, the Motorsports Authority. I want to thank you guys so much for coming on out for the chat tonight. We're going to be back next Sunday to talk about everything Rolex 24. I'm going to be all over the Rolex 24. I'm really happy about that. And yeah, we got the virtual one over the weekend. We had some fun with that one, but I can't wait for the real one, man. It's a whole lot of fun just to see these guys and these machines do some crazy stuff. And for 24 hours, it's such a massive race. It is such an impressive race because of how much work goes into literally every single lap. It is phenomenal. I cannot wait. But for Shifting Gears Live, I'm Alan Bailey. We will see you at the track. Have a good night, Gearheads.